Hey guys, Stephanie here, and today I'm going to be going over all of my bare root and bulb plants that I've picked up for 2023, as well as showing you guys how I pot up a couple of the varieties because I live in the UP of Michigan in Zone 4, Upper Peninsula. Everything we do from bare root and bulb really benefits from a pre-sprouting. When it comes to our season, it's very short, and our spring will come on hard and fast. We're having like just very atypical weather. I will show you guys. To the left of me is all snow, but I'm out here in a t-shirt because the sun is just gorgeous. It's 67 degrees. I'm literally so hot I could just be in a t-shirt. It's got to be near 70 today, so we're just getting a really nice touch of spring, but it will be back down to the mid 40s to like 50 is typical for April in my area. But okay, so everything, I get these. Normally I just save the pots that I've gotten from garden centers in previous years. However, when I originally did all of my other plants, because I have potted a lot of these up, I did try to film this for you guys before and I had some camera problems, so I'm redoing this, but I just couldn't get to them because the snow had froze and melted and froze and melted, and actually created an ice block in front of my barn door where everything was stored, so I couldn't get in there to get them. So I had to order these on Amazon. I want to say I got it like a 50 pack for around $12. So they're just a 6-inch pot. And then I also like to use coffee filters when potting these up, just to plug the drain holes in the bottom so I don't lose my soil, because I am pre-spreading these in my home. And I guess I'll just go over the varieties I picked up pretty quickly, just because I've already done this twice, guys. I'm having a problem with my camera and I have to replace it, which is very sad for me. So the first item I got were bearded irises. I have several varieties and I'll just share them with you guys. So I had to switch angles really quick. The sun was hitting my camera. It was causing it to overheat. So bearded iris, I got 3 varieties. One at the end of last season, that I overwintered in a cold closet and then put in my refrigerator with all of my tulips and stuff that I didn't get in the ground last year. And that was bearded iris. These are all reblooming. This is City Lights, a beautiful bright purple. I also got 2 full tide. These are reblooming and they are a light lilac periwinkle purple. And then the last variety I picked up, which is not that, that's an astilbe, is Dangerous Mood, which is a deep purple on the bottom petals, or I'm not sure there's a terminology, I'm sure, but light purple on the top, dark purple on the bottom. If this is too dark and moody for my garden, I will rehome it to someone who it better serves. So yesterday I took my rhizomes out of the package, and I did this with all of my bearded iris. I just find that it really helps to rehydrate them. Oh, I'm spilling. I just put them in a shallow dish so that the feet, or the bottom where they would root out, are just barely touching the soil. Just helps to rehydrate the rhizome a little bit and get them to root in a bit faster. I've got my planters. Don't need duct tape for this. That's for my winter sowing. I've got my cheap coffee filters. You guys can get these at the dollar store or your grocery store. It's like $1. And they work really well. You can also use, but it's not as biodegradable. But if you're going to be leaving things in the pots, you could also use some mesh screen. I just buy the big rolls for like your sliding glass door, and that works really well for kind of permanent pots. So say you're doing a lasagna method with like your tulips and your crocus and your alliums. I've got my pre-dampened soil over here. So I'm just going to fill these up about 2/3 of the way. That's not 2/3, that's 2/3. Because we're just trying to get these pre-started. They're not going to live in here more than a month. About 4 to 6 weeks at the most. Probably more like 4. This is Dangerous Mood, and yesterday this had no living roots on it, but you can see, it's starting to bud up with some root growth already overnight. So I'm just gonna dig a little hole, and you just wanna kind of put the feet in there. You don't wanna bury. When it comes to bearded iris, they're not like your traditional, is it Siberian iris, which I never understood. These, you want to be mostly out of the soil, kind of like a rose. You want that growth point, the little knot at the base, to always be above soil level. So there we go. That's how you pot up a bearded iris. So I may have gone a little overboard with the dahlias this season, and by a little I mean like a lot, but it's not my fault they come in a multi-pack. The first variety I have is Creme de Cassis. It's a beautiful light pale pink, slightly leaning purple front, and a deep wine colored back on them. Really unique in the fact that they have a entirely different color backing than they do in the front. Wonderful cut flower, prolific bloomer. I've grown this before, but I didn't overwinter the tubers. I also got a multi-pack. This one, I should say, from Walmart. I got 2 bare roots for $5. I have 7. This was $10 at Menards, if you're in the Midwest, Menards, and they have a rebate on it. So there are 3 Lucky Number, which are a really bright kind of bubblegum pink. 3 Lavender Perfection, which are a beautiful large lilac toned or lavender toned dinner plate dahlia, and then 1 smoky, which is white with a kind of pink purple fuchsia blotching on it, which I do believe is also a dinner plate dahlia. This says there was 7 in here, but I actually had 9, probably just because a tuber broke up, but I had 9 plantable tubers. So we will see. I have them all marked as unknown, and as the season goes on, I will try to identify which is which. And then at Lowe's it's sometime between a couple weeks after Valentine's Day, I went up to Marquette, which I live in the UP, guys, so Marquette, Michigan, they have Lowe's. Like, you have to travel hours to get to places. And they had their dahlias out, and these are just a random mix. It was $10 for 3 random pastel variety dahlias. These were really healthy in comparison to the ones I got from Menards or Walmart. The tubers were very plump, very firm, really, really, really good quality, if not the best price value. 3 for the same price as I got 7 from one of the other companies, but still very good. Really excited. And I got 2 of these, so 6 total for $20. The last one I have, and I'm gonna pot this up with you guys, I got this at Walmart, and behind me on the other side of this tree line, Lake Michigan. So I had to pick up Lake Michigan dahlias. I think I tried to grow these a couple years ago, but I got hit really hard with aphids, and I ended up just sacrificing them because it was so early in the season. I was worried about them getting onto my actual vegetable plants and then having to potentially replace that soil. So we're gonna pot these up together. These are Lake Michigan dahlias. Again, got my pots. Gonna do 1 scoop of soil. Ooh, did I almost knock that over? I sure caught it. 1 scoop of soil. Gonna get, and like I said, these were not genuinely in what I would consider great condition. And I can't even find the throat on this one. There it is. Okay, and these are growing downward, of course. So on a dahlia, you'll have the tuber, the throat, and then these are the buds. And as you can see, they are facing the wrong direction. So we're gonna very gently get this into the soil. And I'm going to very loosely place the soil on there so that hopefully the sun will help those buds find the right direction. Just because there's no way, this is so desiccated, to be honest, that I wouldn't be comfortable trying to cut that down. Just cover it, no more than 2 to 3 inches of soil up the throat. We've got our other one. This one's in a little bit better condition, you guys can see. The buds haven't outgrown so much. Can you guys see that? Little buds all over the throat there. In case you're curious, if yours were in better condition, these are pretty dry and I don't feel comfortable, but you could actually cut this down the middle. You just need to have throat and bud and tuber to feed it for it to be a plant. So in reality, you can have just 1 tuber with the throat and 1 eye and get a whole plant out of it. And that's how you divide these over the years and break them into multiple plants. My plan is, because I don't need that many, I only have a little over 1 acre of land where I live, so like I don't need more than 20 dahlias in my garden, really. Well, for the size of my garden right now. So I intend to like sell them at the farmer's market or something, or like plant swaps, you know, would be a great way to trade with other people and get yourself some more plants and kind of share what you have. But those are my dahlias. I'm just gonna make up some plant markers off camera for these to go in there because I do know what these varieties are. So off camera, because I told you guys I've already filmed this, I potted up these already. They're in my house under a little grow situation. I have some white bleeding hearts. I got a 2-pack for $5. The roots were pretty okay. Because these come out regionally, they come out way too early where I live to start them. I would say they come out within a couple weeks of Valentine's Day, and that's like 3 months before my final frost. So I stored them in the fridge for about 4 weeks before I started potting them up, and unfortunately the plants had pre-sprouted. Hopefully there's enough energy there for them to pot up. But one bummer was my luxuriant bleeding heart, because these are so interesting. They're a mountainous region bleeding heart. They can bloom in full sun and they bloom all season long. As opposed to a regular bleeding heart, which is kind of a rambling type plant, this is very mound forming, so it's very tidy and has a very feathery foliage, much like an herb. Absolutely gorgeous. But these roots were just roots, like little strings of spaghetti in here. There was no root form. I think I got just a bad package, so I'm going to try to exchange this. Some other shade-loving plants that I picked up, and shade is pretty subjective. If you live in Arizona, what you consider shade is probably full sun because of the strength of the sunlight or whatever, you know what I mean? Hi, Jasper. My cat. But I did pick up 2 different kind of astilbes. 2 packs, $5, Walmart. I got both Chocolate Kiss and Sunny Boy. Chocolate Kiss is a beautiful light pink. Sunny Boy is kind of a bright magenta purple. Really lovely. Excited about these. Again, the roots looked okay, but not great. I did also get seed potatoes, which I found out recently. You can just buy organic potatoes. I got Yukon Golds because that's what I like to grow in my garden. I may also do a red or a russet this year. $3.24 I got them from at Walmart. They're currently in my fridge still. I didn't want to bring them out. I also picked up strawberries. These are my everbearing. These are already in pots. I got 2 packages of 10 each, so 20 total. I have about 14 to 16 that are showing really great green growth. These are everbearing. These are for fresh eating for my family. But I also have, hi Beanie, my cat. Oh, you want to say hi? Look at my big boy. Yes. I have 4 cats, you guys. I am a cat lady. Sorry. I do have 4 cats. We are suckers for like an in-need animal. So I also picked up 20 of the June bearing. These I'll be using. I do need to pot these up like yesterday. So I'll probably be doing this afternoon off camera just because it's 20 whole pots. But my June bearing, these will be used for canning jam. Okay, you guys, so for my most favorite, I got a bunch of peonies. Peonies are my favorite. They're already sprouting in my garden. I actually have a couple right here, a couple right here, a couple right here around me in my, this is my gated garden. But the varieties I picked up this year, I got 2 of the Festiva Maxima. Festiva Maxima is a white peony with a flecking of a red pink in the center. Beautiful. I also believe this is a fragrant variety. Then I got, like I said, I got 2 of those just for, I'm trying really hard not to mirror everything, but for color balance in my garden because all of my other peonies are pinks and reds. I mostly have Sarah Bernhardt's in here, but I also think I have some Shirley Temples, and I am getting some, my camera cut out on me because it's getting warm again because it's in the sun again. I'm going to be picking up some Carl Rosenfelds. They always get live court peonies at my Menards just before Mother's Day, and Carl Rosenfeld and Sarah Bernhardt's are always in the mix, so definitely getting some of those. I've picked them up like the last 2 years in a row, and I always end up gifting them to someone for Mother's Day. So Margaret Truman, I got one of these. You really need to feel and see if you can find a good, nice, chunky root, because sometimes you'll get something no bigger than your thumb. Will it grow? Yes. Is it going to take a while to flower? Also yes. These are something you plant in advance. My cat. Because they do take about 3 years to flower. I have 2 in my garden already, but I got another sorbet peony. I just couldn't help it. The double colored petals are delicious. This should be my first year possibly getting a flower. I planted these last year, so on occasion, second year, you can get like one flower. I'm not gonna get a huge show, but it will be cool if we get to see something. But I got a third one of those this year. And then the last peony I have to show you is Felix Kraus. I believe Felix Kraus is a bright burgundy. I don't think that this image is true to color. I might pick up either something similar or the exact same one for my garden, because I don't have a lot in this color, so I just want a little bit of balance because my gardens are pretty spread out in my yard. So, Felix Kraus, you guys want to see me pot one of these up? Okay, you guys, so we are gonna pot up my sorbet peony. This is such a good one, you guys. You really want to take the time to feel around and find the weightiest tuber when you're buying from the big box stores. But I've got an eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 10 eyes on here. You can see this is where it was cut. So when I put this in, this is gonna be really at soil level. Peonies, you don't want them to be more than 2 to 3 inches below soil level for flowering. They're extremely hardy. I think it's down to zone 2 or 3 with peonies, so you can really get cold with them. So I've got my garden soil. I'm gonna fill this up 2/3 of the way. Pack it down. I've got my coffee liner in there just for watering purposes. My peonies in the garden have already sprouted, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna let these stay in the pots all fall or if I'm gonna plant these up earlier, just because I normally keep them in a pot all summer, but that can be so much work. You know what I mean? I'm just pressing it in there nice and firm, and then I'm gonna leave this eye exposed. But really, you guys, this is gonna be, you don't want to bury or mulch a peony too deep. It can affect flowering. And that is all she wrote, you guys. I will show you guys my peonies that are sprouted, but there we go. I believe that's all of my plants that I'm doing bare root or bulb thus far for 2023, other than the spring bulbs I overwintered in my meat and cheese drawer. I have some tulips, alliums, crocus, and hyacinths in there that I didn't get in the ground in time just because the ground froze literally as I was planting everything. I got about, I want to say 400 of the bulbs in the ground, and I still have about 100 in my fridge that I have to do. So if you guys are interested in seeing me put those in planters, because I'm going to be doing some planters of those for the spring and then transplanting them into the garden after they've flowered, let me know. I would love to do that with you guys. But that's everything for my bare root and bulbs haul of 2023. I'm really excited to be doing this journey with you guys again. If there's anything you guys want to see from me, any kind of projects or content, please let me know. I'm really into baking, preserving, gardening, home projects. I am queen of, you can learn it on YouTube. Like my husband and I just did the roof ourselves last fall. We built, which I will show you guys eventually, it's getting finished. There was a whole thing, and I'll explain that maybe when I do the video, but we took what's on the other side of this camera, my 2-car garage, and we turned it into a conforming, so it is part of our house now. It is a traditional family room, so it's like a huge rec room for our family. That is part of our home square footage now, like even on our insurance. So we just really like to learn to do stuff ourselves. So if you guys want to be part of that journey, let me know. But mostly gardening, home things, you know. I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.